Would you like to know how to create your hero's story? In this video you will know the 9 ingredients of a hero story. My name is Livia Nemeth and I'm your guide to help you thrive in career, business and life. To help you unleash that brilliance so that you can live your dream life, a life where you feel more fulfilled, more successful and more wealthy. Are you ready? Make sure you subscribe on the bottom below and click on the bell to be notified immediately for our next videos. How to write a hero story? Ever wondered how you could write a hero story? Maybe you're saying, but Livia, I don't have a hero story. I have no clue. Now, today I'm going to give you some examples of a hero story because we all have our own hero story. And if you haven't seen my video yet about how to unleash the hero within, then make sure you watch it. So we all have a hero story. And I'm going to give you some examples of people that I know that have their hero story. So that can give you ideas on what a hero story is like. But of course, before we start with that, I'm going to tell you that your hero story is just like the hero story in a movie or in a book. You might say, yeah, but those are such, big achievements. We're not talking about the size of the achievement. Every hero has the same kind of desires, dreams, and fears. Fears of death, fear of losing out of love, fear of not being able to achieve the dreams. You have them as well. Every person has hardship and difficulties, like every character in a book or film has. They have different difficulties, but it's still the same kind of team. They have difficulties and they have to overcome them. So you too have your hero story. Now, for example, my youngest son of 11-year-old, he has his hero story. He managed to overcome bullies at his bus and make sure that they would never bully anybody else again. So it's a very simple hero story, but it's very important because it says a lot about who you are. It says a lot about your values, who you are as a character, and what you stand for. Now, my other son of 19 years old, he too has a hero story. His hero story is that he was struggling from a couple of learning disabilities, like dyslexia, like dyscalculia and dysgraphia. But that was not the main issue. The main issue is like somebody told him that he could never go to college. And that is something he had to fight up against and to prove this person wrong. And he did. Today he's in college and he got one of the highest scholarships. So that was his hero story. Then my husband, he also has a hero story. He immigrated from Bangladesh to Belgium, Brussels at the age of 17, all alone without family. He had years of struggle. And finally, only after many years, many struggles, he managed to really create his dream business and finally create his dream life here, first in Europe and later in the United States. And then my hero story was that in the beginning everything was perfect, fine. I had a wonderful career, but then suddenly I became ill, so ill that I was even allowed to go in welfare. Now, my dad had been in welfare, so that was a really bummer for me. And I had to make a serious choice. Am I going to listen to all the professionals who say that I had to learn to live with it? Or am I going to create my own path and find a way to overcome it and to overcome those neurologic diseases? And I did. And to finally create the career and the dream life and the dream business I love. And today I live in Florida, the dream life I always wanted. And I live the lifestyle I love and do the work I love. So that was my hero story. Now, I'm sure you have a hero story as well, and it could be a smaller one, it could be a bigger one, a much bigger one. It doesn't matter really the size, but it's important that you write it down and that you acknowledge that you have this story within. It could be that you helped somebody to achieve something, maybe a friend who had difficulties, and you helped them overcome it. Maybe you helped your mom or your dad, your parents. Maybe you overcome also difficulties at school or at your work or in your business or in your relationship or in your finances. Yeah? So you too have maybe not only one, you have a couple of hero stories within. And I want you to realize that, because that's the most important. It will give you more confidence, it will give you more success in life, give you more clients, it will give you much more idea on what your life purpose is, of course. And others will be able to relate with you when you share your story. You'll be able to be an example for others. People will be able to think, look, you can do it, so maybe I can do it as well. So it helps you to really make the difference that I'm sure you would like to make. So now, what are the ingredients of a true hero story? Now, as you probably recall, even in a movie, in a book, it all starts with a safe place, in a home, in a good place, right? That's the number one phase. The number two phase is that something happens, a really hardship. Struggles that are difficult to overcome. Then there is this other ingredient, which is a villain. This could be the villain within you, insecurities, your self-doubt. It could be a villain without, somebody who tells you you can't achieve something, somebody who tells you you're gonna die, somebody who tells you that you will not overcome your disease, somebody who will tell you you could never go to college, somebody who will tell you that you have to be satisfied and settle for less. Many, many different villains that could be there in that story, and that you prove those villains wrong. Then there's the other aspect, there's the conflict. So the conflict, it doesn't stop in the beginning. It could be a number of complex, dramatic events that were created during that period before you actually achieved it, before you achieved the success you wanted. So remember, your home, safe place. Number two, there is the hardship coming up, totally unexpected, the difficulties. Then there's the villain, a person, or it's something within. Yeah, and then there is the conflicts the conflicts that arise. And then there is the guide that comes in your life. It could be within, it could be without, it could be a person, it could be an example, it could be somebody who doesn't even know that they were an example to you, but you observed somebody and they became an example of you. It could be a book, it could be a film, it could be a coach, a mentor, a family member. This guide said something, did something that helped you to overcome and gave you clear hints. Yeah. Then the next step is you made a clear choice. You decided in the moment that you're not going to settle for less and that you're actually going to fight for it. You're going to overcome it somehow, some way. So this is it's probably a moment that you even had to go deep within and search yourself, search your strengths, dig in deep and discover your strengths and your courage, and to go and move forward. And then after that, when you did that, you decided to create a plan. You had a plan of how you're going to do it, how you're going to fight the villain, how you're going to achieve it anyway. Yeah. And then finally, you got the moment of transformation, where you achieved it, where you initiated as the hero. So let's go through it again. You're in a home or a place that is safe and everything is good. Then hardship comes. from outside. It could be any kind of hardship. It could be a hurricane, it could be loss of somebody, it could be difficulty with money, it could be an illness, anything that could happen in your life that was unexpected. Then there comes the villain, somebody who said something that made you feel that you really have to fight for it, fight against it. Somebody who said you have to accept, that you have to lower your standards, or somebody who said you couldn't achieve it, or somebody who said you will die, or somebody who said you will be ill, or somebody who said that you could never go to college, or somebody who said you could never have the dream girl. This is the villain, or it is an insecurity from within. And then the next one is the conflict. There's a couple of dramatic events that happened that made it even more harder, that you had to struggle and persevere and go forward and move forward. Then there was this guy, this one person that was an example to you, that said something, did something, that gives you a hint of how to move forward. It could be a book, it could be a movie, it could be an insight, it could be a coach, a mentor. Anything that helped you to get this insight, to move forward. And then there was this next step of transformation, where you decided to actually take the decision not to be a victim, but to be a victor. And to stand up, to dig deep within, to find your resources of discipline or other resources you needed to overcome your hardship. And then finally, you actually overcame it. This is the initiation to your heroism. You really became the hero in the story. And this story, this sequence is essential because, like in every movie, like in every book, the same ingredients are there. And that's what allows people to be able to relate with it, because we all have a villain. We all have the hardship, we all have conflicts and desires and dreams and fears and difficulties. And we all are eager, we all want this protagonist to succeed. And in this case, the protagonist is you. You are the protagonist in your story, the main character. Now make sure, if you have a story, we would love to hear from you. Share it with us, and of course, if your story is really, really compelling, we would love to share it also. And we will talk about it. We will share it with our public. So make sure you go to Thrive Tank, you contact us, or the link below, and you contact us and share us your story. We would like to hear from you what your story is, how you created it, and if you have any questions, just let us know. And of course, I want to remind you, because I want to reward you for watching my videos. And if you haven't watched all the videos yet, make sure you subscribe and click on the bell below. Go to thrivetank.com and go and get and download the 6 secret habits of highly successful people. I've discovered over the years of my career, which is like, let me think carefully, 28 years of my career, as an employee, as a manager, as a business owner, as an investor, that there are certain habits that you need to have, that all successful, highly successful people have. And you would want to know them so you can apply them immediately in your life. So make sure you go there now and download it. But I want to conclude you also, because I want to ask you that if you think there's somebody out there who really needs to discover the hero within and start sharing his heroine story, then share this video with them, because the story needs to go out there, right? Okay, so then I want to conclude here. Remember always to unleash that diamond within, share your brilliance, live your dreams, and go out there and shine, because the world needs the beauty. That's you. Thank you for watching.